Today, the India's budget is 50 lakh crore. What is it in the budget for you? And the government has also proposed new slab rates. Very important announcement in this current budget is new tax regime introduced by the government before 2 years. So that means the government is not trying to promote or rather trying to incentivize the old tax regime, is trying to help the poor people and the agriculture sector. That this budget is only for the Bihar because elections are forthcoming. Micro small enterprises up to 10 crore. And startups up to 20 crore. The second important thing is Jal Jeevan Mission. To achieve 100% coverage, election becomes a main agenda and budget has been used as an instrument for. The budget was very short, but it had a very important announcement with respect to the middle class. In that the highest of the allocation goes to defense sector. A country is not just its soil, a country is its people. My dear friends, Union Budget 2025 has been tabled by the Union Finance Minister today. The budget is presented in the through four engines of development. The first engine of development that the Finance Minister spoke was about agriculture. The second important engine of development that the Finance Minister spoke about was MSME. Third engine of development that the Finance Minister spoke was on investment, and fourth is on exports. While she presented the budget saying the fuel for achieving the Viksit Bharat is the reforms and the guiding spirit is inclusivity and the destination is Viksit Bharat. And she also said a country is not just its soil, a country is its people, by quoting the Telugu quotation. My dear friends, with this the budget began. So now the question is, what is it in the budget for you? The first takeaway from the budget is for the middle class. Very important announcement in this current budget is for the middle class, where the government has said, when they tabled the budget, they clearly said that whoever is earning about 12 lakh rupees will not be taxed under the Income Tax Act 1961. This benefit of taxation is not provided as a basic exemption limit up to 12 lakhs, but they were provided the benefit through rebate model, that is through section 87A of the Income Tax Act 1961. In this model, whoever earns up to 12 lakhs will not be taxed, but provided the same person, if his income exceeds marginally, maybe 12 lakh 10,000 or 12 lakh 20,000, 12 lakh 50,000, then he will come under the income tax slabs. So whoever earns up to 12 lakhs will not come under the income tax slab. He will be provided the exemption. He will be provided the tax benefit. Whoever earns up to 12 lakh will not be taxed in the income tax. No tax under the income tax. Whoever earns more than 12 lakhs, even marginally, they will come under the slab rate of taxation. And the government has also proposed new slab rates. That is 0 to 4 lakhs as nil. The government has increased the basic exemption limit to 4 lakh. 4 lakh to 8 lakh is 5%. 8 lakh to 12 lakh is 10%. 12 lakh to 16 lakh is 15%. 16 lakh to 20 lakhs is 20%. 20 lakh to 24 lakhs is 25%. 24 lakh onwards, it is 30%. My dear friends, to summarize in a simple way, all those people who are earning up to 12 lakh, you get the benefit of no tax under the Income Tax Act 1961 through rebate model provided under section 87A. If you marginally exceed 12 lakh or you are above 12 lakh, then you will come under this slab rate of taxation. When you come under the slab rate of taxation, the slab rates gets revised, and wherein they say the basic exemption limit is about 4 lakh. By understanding the slab rate, we also understand whoever earns income up to 4 lakh, then they are completely exempt under the tax system, that is Income Tax Act 1961. My dear friends, the point to be noted here is this benefit has been provided only under the new tax regime introduced by the government before 2 years. So that means the government is not trying to promote or rather trying to incentivize the old tax regime where the tax outflow could be more. So the government is trying to promote or retain the new tax regime. The moot point to be noted here from the constitutional perspective, as per Article 14, the new tax regime and old tax regime should be with the equality. But whereas the old tax regime is not incentivized, but the new tax regime is incentivized. So people who choose the old tax regime and don't choose a new tax regime definitely will not have the benefit of the new tax regime. The question here is, when there is Income Tax Act, why at all there are two regimes proposed by the government does not have any rationality. Either they should have scrapped the old tax regime and tried to only retain the new tax regime by explaining the reason why they are retaining the new tax regime. But the government by retaining. When the government has taken a decision to incentivize the new tax regime, why at all there should be a old tax regime is the question. That's a moot point. However, the government by providing tax benefit up to 12 lakhs has given more disposable income in the hands of the middle class. The question is, what will the middle class do with this income? Either they can do saving or investment or consumption. Ideally, when the government gave this benefit, they should have also provided and incentivized the saving, whereas they didn't do that. Eventually, what will happen is that the new tax regime will be promoted in the place of old tax regime only for the purpose of consumption. In fact, when the new tax regime was introduced before 2 years, I made a clear point saying that the new tax regime is trying to promote the consumption, whereas the old tax regime is trying to promote the saving because the deductions are applicable in the old tax regime. My dear friends, this is one of the important announcement of the Union Budget 2025. There are many more other announcement of the Union Budget. The government has tried to introduce some of the schemes like Prime Minister Dhan Dhanya Krishi Yojana Developing Agriculture Districts Program, Enhanced Credit through KCC, that is Mission for Cotton Productivity, then National Mission on High Yielding Seeds, Makana Board in Bihar, and India Post also has given lot of India Post has also been announced with a lot of schemes because the postal department will act as a catalyst for the rural economy's development. So these are all some of the important announcements that the government has tried to provide. By and large, this Union Budget 2025 is trying to help the poor people and the agriculture sector to boost, and especially in the state of Bihar. In fact, when the finance minister announced various programs for the Bihar, many opposition leaders started saying that this budget is only for the Bihar because elections are forthcoming in Bihar. My dear friends, at the end of the day, the legislative comprises people from the politics. So election becomes the main agenda and budget has been used as an instrument for a populist measure. So accordingly, the Bihar has been given more focus as part of this budget. Beyond this, there is a significant announcement with respect to credit availability with guarantee cover for MSC, micro small enterprises and startups. Presently, the credit guarantee cover that is current is about 5 crore and 10 crore, but it got revised now for the MSC, micro small enterprises up to 10 crore and startups up to 20 crore. And export MSMEs for term loans up to 20 crore is the cover. And the definition of the MSME has also undergone a change which was not highlighted and spoken about much, but it is a great transformation that the government has done with respect to providing the definition of MSME. Micro enterprises, the current investment criteria is 1 crore, it got revised to 2.5 crores. The turnover criteria is 5 crores, but it got revised to 10 crores. For the small enterprises, the investment criteria was 10 crore, it got enhanced to 25 crores. Turnover criteria for the current was 50 crore, but it got enhanced to 100 crore. And with respect to medium enterprises, it was 50 crore, it got enhanced to 125 crores. With respect to investment and turnover, it got enhanced from 250 crores to 500 crores. My dear friends, there are other important skilling programs also introduced by the government. The third most important aspect of the budget is with respect to support to states for infrastructure. That is, with an outlay of 1.5 lakh crore, 50-year interest-free loans to states for capital expenditure and incentive for reforms. Because many of the states were asking for loans from the union government. Through this support to states for infrastructure with an interest-free loan, it will not only help these states to develop their infrastructure, but also help the center to achieve their extended programs of centrally sponsored scheme as well as infrastructure projects in the respective state. The second important thing is Jal Jeevan Mission to achieve 100% coverage of the country through the water facility to the rural parts of this country. And this mission is extended till 2028. This was an ongoing program. And beyond all this thing, yet another important announcement with respect to asset monetization plan, that is 2025 to 2030, which launched to plow back capital of about 10 lakh crore in new projects. And there is also an innovative scheme that brought by the government that is called Urban Challenge Fund, where 1 lakh crore to implement the proposals for cities as growth hubs, creative redevelopment of cities and water and sanitation. But for this, all this development, every other scheme was introduced only for the purpose of as a populist measure. The budget was very short, but it had a very important announcement with respect to the middle class. And in fact, when the finance minister spoke about the budget outlay, the total budget outlay of the current year is about 50 lakh crore. Today, the India's budget is 50 lakh crore, and this budget is spent on various sectors in the country like defense, rural development, home affairs, agricultural allied activities, education, health, urban development, IT and telecom, energy, commerce and industry, social welfare, scientific departments. In that, the highest of the allocation goes to defense sector, which is about 4,91,000 crore, with the rural development contributed up to 2,66,817 crores. Home Affairs contributed up to 2,33,211 crores. Agriculture and allied activities contributed up to 1,71,437 crores. Like this, more allocation has also happened for education, roughly amounting to about 1,28,650 crores. In total budget is about 50 lakh crores roughly. My dear friends, India has reached a milestone of 50 lakh crore budget, and I'm sure in the days to come, more budget allocations will happen for poor and the marginal of this country. My dear friends, the taxation system as such has to help for socio-economic development, and more schemes has to be brought, populist schemes has to be brought for empowering the masses and the marginal and the poor. Through proper effective tax system without burdening the middle class, but progressively collecting taxes from the rich will ensure transformation of the country happens for socio-economic development. I'm sure the forthcoming budgets in the years to come will pave the way for the development of this country. This budget has tried to help the middle class to have more disposable income. Accordingly, I rate this budget out of 10 as 5. Even though the budget may have some attractive schemes announced, but its implementation is with the executive. Accordingly, the executive has to perform effectively to see to that the schemes gets implemented in the country, nook and corner of this country, especially in the aspirational districts. Thank you so much.